pearls, let's talk about Disneyland. Who doesn't love going to Disneyland? The only little hang up is that a Disneyland trip can be pretty pricey, especially if you don't live nearby. So I've taken it upon myself to help out all the pearls out there to figure out ways to cut costs, save money on your Disneyland trip. In today's video, we are going to talk about 8 different tips that are literally going to help you save hundreds of dollars when it comes to saving money on your Disneyland hotels. Hundreds of dollars? That's going to help. Welcome back, you guys. This is Pennies into Pearls and I am Brittany. This is where you will learn all about living your pearl life. It's about making small changes in your everyday life that are going to help you take the steps to achieve a life you never even dreamed would be possible. It sounds dramatic, but it's totally true, and I want to help you guys do it. Part of living a pearl life is enjoying the journey. It's not all about getting from point A to point B. You need to have fun and enjoy the drive on your way. So hit that subscribe button if you want to learn more tips on how to live your pearl life. Now, if you would have asked me even just like 3, maybe 4 years ago, if I would have thought that we would be doing regular Disneyland trips, I would have said, no way, I don't think we can even, make it work for one Disneyland trip. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of expenses that go into the trip. I did a video recently that went over a bunch of different ways to save money on a Disneyland trip. I will link that one down in the description box for you guys. But today's video, we are going to focus in on saving money on your hotel, where you're going to stay during your Disneyland family vacation. I wanted to focus in on this aspect a little bit because your hotel stay, where you're staying, can add up a lot and end up being one of the top expenses for your trip. Let's dive into the 8 tips to help you save money on your Disneyland hotel stay. So just to be clear, I'm just talking about finding somewhere to stay that will work into your family's budget. It doesn't necessarily have to be one of the Disneyland like certified, sponsored, owned hotels. It can just be fine. These are all tips that are going to help you guys save money no matter where you're staying. There's always new hotels that are popping up, and there's always special sales and discounts and things like that. So I want to equip you with the pearl tools necessary to be able to decipher exactly what is going to be a really great deal for you, depending on your family size, depending on your family's needs and wants, where you want to splurge, where you want to save, all of those things, helping you save money on your Disneyland trip, all based off of your customized plan. Tip number 1 is to visit in the off season. Now this tip is going to help you save money on all aspects of your Disneyland trip, but specifically on your hotel. To take advantage of the lower hotel prices, you are going to want to shoot to have your trip sometime between January and then probably mid-March, or the last week or 2 of August through the end of September. Nobody wants to take their kids out of school right at the beginning of the school year. But really, what are they even doing there? I'm just kidding. It's super important, but if you want to find a really good deal on the hotels, then those are the times to book. I was looking at prices, and it is currently September as I'm filming this. There was a lot of Airbnbs and hotels that were offering up to 50% off of their rental fees if you booked in the first 2 weeks of September. That is a huge savings. My next tip is to make sure that breakfast is included in your stay. Now this won't cover if you're staying at an Airbnb, but there are a lot of hotel options around Disneyland within walking distance that include a breakfast within your stay. Now some might be continental, but some might have a hot breakfast. Hubby and I went on a trip, just the 2 of us, this last summer, and then the year before that, we went with the whole family, both of which we stayed at hotels where there was a hot breakfast where you had eggs, bacon, made to order pancakes and waffles and fruit and veggies. Like, it was a pretty good breakfast, and everyone was able to fill their bellies, and that was all included in the price of our hotel. If you make sure to have the price of breakfast included, that can save you $10 to $20 per person per day. So we are talking, like if you have a family of 4 or 5, we're talking between $50 to $100 savings per day. Don't forget, I'm all about stacking the savings. So as I'm going through all these different tips, if you can apply more than one at a time, that is how you're going to totally maximize your savings. Tip number 3 is make sure that your room is equipped with a refrigerator or some sort of mini fridge. This is gonna allow you to bring food from home and not have to pay the outrageous prices for food inside the park. Though don't get me wrong, mama does love a good Dole Whip. It all just depends on where your family puts the priority on your budget. Buying items ahead of time like milk, juice, string cheese, applesauce pouches, things like that, and then storing them in your room and taking them out as you need. Bring like an insulated lunchbox into the park, because Disneyland's cool like that, they let you. And save you up to 50% off of the cost of food as compared to buying it in the park. And then a microwave is super helpful for even just heating up leftovers. So maybe you order a whole pizza instead of ordering per slice. Save money that way, or bringing leftovers from home, bringing microwavable dinners from home. For things like that, a microwave will be really useful and be able to save you more money than going out to eat every single meal. Tip number 4 is make sure that the parking at your hotel is included. One thing I learned on our most recent trip to Disneyland is that sometimes if you order through a travel agency, and my favorite is Getaway Today, I'll leave a link for that down in the description box. If you book your hotel through the travel agency, sometimes you get perks like free parking that might not otherwise be offered if you were to book directly through the hotel's website. On average, it usually costs around $20 to $25 per day for parking at the hotel. So if you're doing a 4-day stay, that's $100 savings, people. Tip number 5 is when you're booking, look for hotels and vacation rentals that are offering a 3rd, 4th, or 5th night stay free. Now that alone could save you a couple $100. Like I mentioned, my favorite travel agency when it comes to traveling in Southern California, Disneyland specifically, is Getaway Today. And they make it so simple. Just go on to getaway.com. Again, I'll have a link for you down below. And you can book your hotel through them. They make comparing prices really convenient. They know what is great services to have for families. And then a bonus is you can order your Disneyland tickets through them as a package deal as well. They have 3rd night, 4th night, 5th night stays free all the time. And they're also always having specials on Disneyland tickets. If you order tickets from Disneyland.com, you will never see a price discount, but you will always see an increase every year. So make sure that you're checking out Getaway Today before you buy any of your tickets or book any of your hotels. And if you happen to book a hotel and tickets package, you can use this code right here, and that will get you an additional little discount off of your hotel stay. Tip number 6 is to book your hotel stay early. The closer you get to your travel dates, the more likely the cost per night is gonna go up. Though I do have a hack for this one. I happened to be just like looking around doing some research for this video, and I noticed that one of the Airbnbs I was looking at was offering up to 50% off for the next 2-week stay. I emailed them to see if they would honor the same price for that same time next year. She told me that she only offers that discount for if the time comes up close enough and it's still unbooked, then they will offer a promotion. So that's one hack, but it's kind of risky and you might actually end up paying more if you don't find any deals. Now I've mentioned it a couple times, but in some situations, renting and splitting the cost of an Airbnb with another family might save you a lot of money versus renting a hotel. So tip number 7 is to share the cost of a vacation rental. Now, if you have a huge family and you're gonna have to rent multiple rooms at a hotel, just renting a whole vacation rental is probably gonna be cheaper that way. But if you can find one that fits your family plus at least another one and compare these few tips I'm about to share with you, then it could really save you a couple $100. So you need to keep in mind that the cost of breakfast is something that you will not have included usually in your vacation rental, which could have otherwise been included in your hotel stay. But there's ways around that. You can bring food from home or just stop by a local grocery store and stock up while you're there. 2 huge costs that maybe you don't take into consideration usually, but you need to, would be the cleaning fee and a service fee. Cleaning fees are usually anywhere between $150 and $300. Now that's per stay, but when you're calculating and comparing, include that in the cost of your vacation rental. And then there's also a service fee added on, again, usually between $150 and $180. And so don't forget to add those 2 costs on when you're comparing the cost of a hotel versus a vacation vacation rental. One vacation rental company that I'm sure you guys have heard of and our family has used several different times would be AirBnB.com. If you haven't tried them out yet, you can use my affiliate link down in the description box and you'll get $40 off of your first stay. My 8th tip for saving money when it comes to finding a place to stay when you're on your Disneyland vacation is you have to make sure and take into consideration the distance from where you're staying to actually where the park is. If you're not close and you end up having to drive to the park, currently parking is about $20 per day. So if you're doing multiple days, that's huge savings. There's also the option of taking a shuttle from the hotel to the park, but you need to again take into consideration that cost. Usually it's around $6 to $8 per person per day. You can go back and forth however many times you need to, but then you also have to make sure that you're timing your to and from the park according to the shuttle schedule. So that could be a little bit restricting. And then another option that I actually have to give credit to my hubby for thinking of is if you have a bigger party that could fit into something like an Uber, that might be a good option. Depending on how far you are from the park, if you're within like a 2-mile radius, one way to the park is gonna probably cost you around $8 to $12. But if that's covering a group of 5, 6 of you, then that is a good savings. You just have to remember that is the cost each way. So if you want to go home from naps and then go back and then come home after fireworks, things like that, it's going to keep adding up. If you haven't already and want to give Uber a try, you can click my affiliate link down in the description box below and use this code right here, and that will get you your first ride for free. But that's a big one. If you're not close enough to walk to the park, plan ahead and make sure to incorporate the cost for traveling to and from the park into your total vacation budget. There you have it. Those are my 8 tips for helping you save money when trying to decide where you're going to stay on your Disneyland trip. Again, don't forget to stack the savings, because if you can apply all 8 of these tips, then you are going to be saving hundreds and hundreds of dollars on your Disneyland vacation. I don't know why you wouldn't listen. Do you guys have any tips on saving money for your Disneyland vacation? I would love to hear them. I'd love to chat with you down in the comments below. Thanks you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited to be sharing these tips with you. I really want to be able to help you guys find different ways to save money on your Disneyland trip, so that way it's more attainable and a lot easier to start saving for. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to share it with your friends. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.